It looks like pizza in my opinion. Over here is the exterior design of the Alfa Romeo Tonale. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. They have an Italian flag, literally. Hello everyone! By now you are all aware that crossover SUVs in today's generation has become quite a big deal. Nobody would have ever imagined this, and also the French and the Italians were one of the last ones to arrive in the crossover SUV segment. Now, here's something very interesting. Alfa Romeo recently released the Stelvio. Well, I don't know why I say recently. They did it like about a few years ago, and ever since the Stelvio rolled out, it was a very big success. Then also very recently, Stellantis happened, which is another alliance, guys. Well, actually, I wouldn't say alliance, it's more like a merge. So a merge between the Fiat Chrysler Group and the PSA Group, Peugeot Citroën. But right here, guys, is the Alfa Romeo Tonale. Now, funny thing I'm going to tell you all. When I first heard the name, I instantly thought of toenails. I apologize, guys. Tonale is actually named after some mountains in Italy. That's right. So please excuse me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but I always believed it's meant to be pronounced as Tonale. Now, according to sources, this Alfa Romeo Tonale is based on the same platform as the Jeep Compass. Wow! Looks like Alfa Romeo really did use expertise from the Americans. And this is going to give Alfa Romeo better leverage in the crossover SUV segment. But just how fruitful has this been for Alfa Romeo? We're going to find out in a moment, everyone, because when we think of real Alfa Romeos, we often think of the Alfa Romeo Spider, or we often think of their coupes or their sedans. But crossover SUVs, the Stelvio saw massive success. Let's see if the Tonale has everything it takes to see just the same amount of success as the Stelvio. This Alfa Romeo Tonale costs 40,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? We're gonna find it in a moment, everyone. Let's get down with this review right now. But before doing so, I just want to quickly recap something, guys. The Alfa Romeo is a brand that really doesn't have a clear, it's not very clear if it's a mass market brand or if it's a premium brand. But judging by the Giulietta and also the Stelvio, my best guess tells me premium. They seem to be targeting the premium brands, especially with the Quattrofoglio. Please excuse me if I'm not saying it correctly, guys. But with the Tonale right here, which is based on the same platform as the Jeep Compass, I'm assuming it's in the same standards as Volvo because they seem to be in the segment between premium and the mass market. Over here is a hybrid petrol engine, everyone. It recharges automatically with the brakes, not with the plug-in, everyone. So this is something really special and something very new for Alfa Romeo, guys, and perhaps for Stellantis. However, in terms of reliability, would you really care about reliability when you buy an Italian car? No. You care about the style and the looks. After all, the Italian passion is more important than precision. And to remind you that you're getting something that's premium, you get a nice hydraulic strut right there. How amazing is that? Over here is the exterior design of the Alfa Romeo Tonale. Look at it, everyone. When I first saw these designs right here at the front, the first thing that came to my mind was the Alfa Romeo 159, everyone. The legendary Alfa Romeo of before. I remember it used to dominate the Belgian roads, actually, but then they went extinct very quickly in the early 2010s. So they just vanished very quickly. But this looks like something that's going to come back again, guys. I mean, look at it. Well, it's not going to. It is coming back, guys. I mean, look at it. It's right here. You get parking sensors at the front, everyone. And of course, as part of the Italian passion, you actually get air vents actual air vents that actually have a purpose. Wow, that's very nice. Now let's just take a moment and admire those alloy wheels, everyone. They look very nice, and this is a very strong Alfa Romeo identity. It looks like pizza in my opinion. I'm just joking, guys. Look at this. It looks very nice. I like those circles, the 5-spoke theme it's got. This has been with Alfa Romeo for quite a long time, and I even remember this in the 2000s. You get rear parking sensors, and you do get a rear view camera right here as well, guys. Very, very nice. And I like this rear design. This rear design looks very interesting. Looks very good. In fact, when you see this sort of lining right here, it reminds me of something Stellantis. It reminds me of something really Dodge. Like, I know Dodge always does this sort of design for their rear of their cars. They have it on the Dodge Durango, and also they have it on the, I believe, the Dodge Challenger, if I'm correct. Challenger or something. I know this is a really typical Dodge trait. But when I first saw the rear from this angle, first thing that came in my mind was Jaguar. I mean, when you look at it from this angle, you would actually confuse it for a Jaguar. But hey, upon closer inspection, I realized it's a good, nice Alfa Romeo with a lot of Italian passion. I really like the side view of this Alfa Romeo, and I really like the overall styling. In fact, in my view, it looks like a sports car has been transformed into a crossover SUV and delivered at a very cheap price of 40,000 euros. Yes, the reason I say cheap is because if you want to talk about an actual sports car being transformed into a crossover or a full-size SUV, you'd be paying hundred thousands of euros, guys. Whereas these guys at Alfa Romeo have been rather generous with the Italian passion. But whilst exploring the exterior of this Alfa Romeo Stelvio, I also noticed some questionable aspects. The first questionable aspect I'd like to point out is the fact that you don't get any 360-degree parking camera for a price of 40,000 euros, guys. Only get a rear view camera, but that's it, guys. There's no 360-degree parking camera. But you do get front parking sensors and rear parking sensors, so that's good. I don't know if it's just me, but I find the front to be a little bit too busy. Like, for example, I really like this air intake right here. It is gorgeous. I really like these air intakes right there and right there, but then I don't understand why have so much excess grille design over here. Like, why not just, you know, have the body color cover this part, because this is clearly not an air intake. The air intake is over here, but not here. All you get here is the parking sensor, and that's it. Another questionable aspect I would like to point out is what looks like an imitation of an exhaust. So for some reason you get these proud holes right there, but then as you look at it, it's just well, I mean, I don't really know what is its purpose. It looks like it's supposed to be an air vent because I see a gap in there, but an air vent for what? It's not very clear, guys. I mean, why not just have an actual exhaust right here? Another questionable aspect I'd like to remark is something very minor, and it's not like something everyone is going to notice, and it should not really be a big deal, but I just thought I'd point it out anyways. This and this is not very much aligned. It seems as though this piece is bigger than this piece. There's a lack of alignment. Like, look very carefully. This appears to be more above than this. So I don't know if this was a lack of precision, but yes, usually the Italians are not very much famed for being precise. They tend to be very passionate about their cars. So it seems like this is a form of Italian passion right there, but come on, a bit of precision was needed. Now over to the interior of this Alfa Romeo Tonale. But before I go inside, I just want to quickly point out you do get keyless entry for the front doors. So that's very good. The keyless entry buttons are only here, but not on the rear doors. But it's okay. It's fine. I like it. I'm in the interior of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, and I have to say, wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the presentation right here, guys. Presentation right here is very, very good. I first of all like, this is an Alfa Romeo identity that's actually starting to grow. And this is something I've noticed with the Stelvio as well. What I like about it is that they have a straight line right here. So the swivel wheel is a little wheel right here that controls whatever goes on the screen. But that's not the case with this gorgeous Stelvio. This is not the case with the Tonale. With the Tonale, it's directly with the infotainment system. You have to have it controlled. By the way, the size of this infotainment system and the way it's designed strongly reminds me of something the PSA Group would usually do. And this should not come as a surprise because the PSA Group and the Fiat Chrysler, they have now a merge, which is called Stellantis. Now, whether Stellantis has been actually good or not, you all be the judge, but I believe that Stellantis has enabled more opportunities for both parties. So, yeah, I think we should take a look at the positive side of it. Over here, you get your infotainment system. Over here, you get your climate control, everyone. And by the way, this has to be the first time I've ever seen climate controls nicely detailed. Okay, I'm not trying to say nicely detailed. What I'm trying to say is that just look at it. It's like a piano. Everything is right there. Although, to be honest, this looks like a PSA Group trait because I know Peugeot and Citroën always do this. They always have a like piano right here and then... Wait, actually Peugeot does that. Yeah, I think it's only Peugeot these days. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they just put controls right there, and then you are expected to look carefully at which button you press. I mean, everything is right next to each other. But it's positive because I hate it when there's hard plastic that has no purpose. Here, everything has a purpose. Very nice. And I like the presentation of it. The feel is very, very good, everyone. I like it. Good quality right here. And then also over here, you get your volume control. Okay, what exactly is your volume control doing all the way right there? I mean, for a second, I actually thought that was your driving mode. I believe this little swivel wheel would be your driving mode, because if you look carefully at it, it's got some symbols. I believe this should be your driving mode. I believe so. Otherwise, as for the rest of the interior, this would be your cup holder of fixed sizes. And I like this Italian passion going on right here. Like, they have an Italian flag, literally. Over here, you get your 12-volt socket, USB point, and your wireless recharge for your telephone. You get your extra lighting controls right here, everyone. That's very nice, but there's no storage whatsoever over there. You get fully electric seating adjustments, everyone, and you also do get a memory seating with it. Now that is amazing, and your door lock is right there next to it. The steering wheel is very, very nice, very strong Alfa Romeo identity, and they love putting their start-stop button right on the steering wheel like it's a sports car. I think this is the identity of Alfa Romeo. Well, first of all, as I've stated earlier, I don't really know if Alfa Romeo is participating in the mass market, or are they aspiring to be in the premium market? That's why I put them in the middle, because it's not very clear if they're trying to compete premium or mass. But whatever they're doing, it appears that a recurring theme I'm noticing about them is that they try to build cars that have traits of a sports car. By the way, this has to be the first time I've ever seen huge pallets for the steering wheel. I mean, look at this, guys. What? That is actually cool. Right, guys, whilst exploring the interior of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, I was very, very happy with it. I was very impressed with the design. But I also noticed some questionable aspects. And the first questionable aspect I'd like to point out is that whoever designed this door seemed to... It's almost as if the door came from Fiat or something. Because if you look at the quality of the window controls and the mirror controls, the first thing that came in my mind was Fiat. I was thinking of a Fiat of 20,000 euros or a Fiat 500 because look at it. I mean, you know, the interior looks gorgeous. I mean, if you compare the steering wheel and the controls right here, the difference is day and night. The steering wheel looks like it's come from a car of 100,000 euros. But then as soon as you look at this, it looks like it's come from a car of 20,000 euros. Although there's a nice, beautiful speaker right here. That's gorgeous. But if this door was not on this Alfa Romeo Tonale, I would have confused it for a Fiat, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, and the window controls are just pure plastic, guys. I mean, no trim, no aluminum, nothing, no chrome. Yeah. The storage solutions over here appear to be limited, guys. I mean, this storage space is not deep, and it looks as though it's only dedicated to your phone. And then also the cup holder isn't very... And then also the central console storage isn't very deep. Well, it's very deep, but it's not wide enough, guys. I mean, it's just... Yeah. Practicality appears to be a problem in this interior. I'm sure this glove box is nice. Yeah, this glove box is as average as it has to be for a crossover SUV of this size. The glove box is always the most spacious part. But as for the rest of the practicality, it's a bit questionable. And also the door bin is rather small, everyone. I mean, you can fit a small water bottle, and you have limited storage space here, but this place is neglected. So it appears practicality is a bit of an issue in this interior. Before we explore the rear of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, I just want to quickly tell you all something. This edge sticks out very proudly, and yet my hand is all the way here. So here's what happens whenever I open the rear door. I'm opening the rear door. Let me show you what happens. This edge right here is always close to making contact with my chin. So every time I open the rear door, I have to basically back away like this. But then I'm always worried because this edge sticks out so proudly that I am under the impression it will hit my nose or hit my chin. So I have to, you know, be very careful. You cannot open it with speed because your hand goes all the way here, and then this edge is right here, guys. Alright everyone, I'm at the rear of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, and I have to say my leg room is very, very good. My knee room is very, very good, so I have just about enough knee room. Alright guys, and my headroom is also quite nice. So over here you get a nice rear seat pocket, and it's also right there. And you get a door bin right here. Well, the door bin is... yeah. You also get an air vent right here. Now there's no climate control at the back for some reason. You only get air vents, and you get a USB point, and then you get this bit of plastic that has no purpose whatsoever. You get a nice armrest right here, guys, with 2 cup holders inside and this bit of storage space. I noticed something very, very odd. And I noticed this problem with other Stellantis cars, like Opel and... well, I noticed the PSA group suffer from this as well sometimes. They don't offer the rear driver any handle up here or any coat hook. Nothing. The handle is at the driver's seat and at the passenger seat at the front. But at the rear seat, it's neglected. There's nothing going on up here. And for a price of 40,000 euros, guys, put coat hooks here, but there's no coat hook over here either. What's going on? Although you do get a beacon of hope lighting over here, which is quite nice. I love those LED lights, but that's it. I mean, that is a real beacon of hope, because there is hope. And there's no sunroof over here, no panoramic roof. So whilst exploring the rear seat of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, I have to say it doesn't seem very flamboyant as the front. That's all I can say, guys. I mean, the seating is very good. I like the sporty feel. It's actually on the firm side. I like this. But the door bin was rather small. And then also the control right here is just... there's just plastic over here, and when I opened the rear door, I was like greeted with plastic over here, guys. But again, you all be the judge. Alright everyone, over here is the boot space of the Alfa Romeo Tonale. I like those lightings at the rear, beacon of hope lightings. And then also you get a 12-volt socket, and you do get hooks over there, and hooks over here, and you get a tether point right here. And tether points at the rear, guys, same at the other side. Very, very nice. Alright guys, but whilst exploring the rear boot, I also noticed a bit of questionable aspects. Like, first thing I would like to point out is the quality of the rear lights. Like, usually for a price of 40,000 euros, you'd expect maybe something like LED lights for the rear, but there's no LED lights going on here, guys. You just get basic rear lights. And yeah, I was expecting something fancy, like as if it would be a football stadium. But no, there's nothing fancy going on. And then also the space in the boot is very questionable. The thing is, this is a hybrid, so I'm assuming the hybrid technology is eating up the space. But look at the space here and here, guys. It's not very wide for its segment. For its segment, I was expecting it to be a bit more, like, bigger or something. I was expecting more space this side and this side, if not downwards. But that's not the case. It seems like a lot of space is being taken up by something. Alright everyone, so here's my conclusion about the Alfa Romeo Tonale. What I have to say is that the Alfa Romeo Tonale has been a very, very big surprise for me, guys. I mean, when it first came out, I was shocked. I was really excited. The design is very, very promising. And this is the birth of something new for Stellantis and Alfa Romeo. Because this time Alfa Romeo is playing very strong on its identity. The Italian passion is certainly present right there. It's almost like a sports car being turned into an SUV, a crossover SUV. An economic crossover SUV, by the way. And the plug-in hybrid was also a very big surprise. I did not expect this from Stellantis, but Stellantis offers it, guys. So that's a plus. Oh, and I apologize, not plug-in hybrid, guys. I'm talking about hybrid. So That's very exciting. However, what I can definitely conclude about this Alfa Romeo Tonale is that a lot of practicality has been sacrificed in the name of passion in the style and design. So for a price of 40,000 euros, is this Alfa Romeo Tonale good value for money or not? Guys, I have to say, it's a very, I have to say it is okay value for money. I'm inclined to say good, but here's the reason why I have to say okay value for money, guys. The only reason I would say good value for money is because of the design and the strong identity it bears. There's a strong Italian passion, there's no doubt about it. This has been built with a lot of passion, guys. Designed with a lot of love and flamboyance. I mean, that's what I think about whenever I see this car or any Italian car. Flamboyance, guys. Flamboyance is always more important than the practicality. I mean, the basics of life, the basic things you just have to nail. This is something this car lacks. I'm sorry. This car was gorgeous, but practicality solutions were a bit, yeah. Like, for example, the interior was nice, but the practicality solutions were limited. And also it had some things missing, like I'm surprised there was no 360-degree parking camera, and there was also no sunroof or panoramic roof. And then also at the boot space, the space at the boot was very, in my opinion, a bit shocking, because as soon as I opened the boot, I was like, what? That's not enough? The car looks huge, yet when you look at the boot, there's barely any space. It's like the space it has at the boot looked like something you'd see in a Volkswagen Golf or something like a Volkswagen Passat. My opinion of this Alfa Romeo Tonale, I love this Alfa Romeo Tonale. This Alfa Romeo Tonale has very, very strong potentials. This is the birth of something new, because this is the first time I've ever seen a hybrid crossover SUV, especially from an Italian brand, guys. Sometimes we just have to sacrifice practicality for added grace. And if we want practicality, then there's no added grace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my other car reviews and for my travel videos.